All right, welcome back. We got part 6, Dash Walkthroughs with Trent Larson. What's up, Trent?
Hey, good to be here.
Good to have you, Trent. As opposed to most episodes, I do know the guest pretty well today because this is one of my good friends and colleagues, Trent. We've known each other for, I don't know, seems like 10 years on and off. We don't do a ton together, but we've rubbed shoulders in the crypto context as well as tech, in general. Trent, I know about you, but you know about you more than I know about you. So I know that you are basically an OG Bitcoiner and crypto person. I was surprised, but not surprised to see. I scrolled through your Twitter account, your X account, and I think you were talking about Bitcoin way back in 2010 or 2011 or something like that. And
I would love to know how you discovered it back then, how you got into it.
yes, just introduce us to Trent a little bit. Tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, love computer science. Been programming for a while. I went and got my PhD in computer science in 2002, and after that, decided, hey, academia, it's cool, but I feel like I don't really know industry, so started working in industry then. As for finding Bitcoin, I don't know. It's just another one of those random things that like you stumble upon nowadays in GitHub from somebody else's projects. And so I've never been able to mine. I do remember buying just, hey, okay, I got to buy some of this. And so I bought some in 2011. And I tell people that, I've lost more than I'll ever own. It was hard to get, people would fall through. And so anyway, wish I'd, of course, bought more just like everybody else. But 2014 is when, luckily, I was able to join Overstock with Medici Ventures. And they created the first crypto-based exchange in 2016. And, with Ryan, we were going to, meetups back in the day. And I remember Dash ones at the beginning. And so anyway, since after, T0 is still something that's out there and running, but I was lucky enough to join this side project, Medici Land Governance. And it's been focused on writing land records to chain. And so that's where I still am employed. I'm doing other side things with identity and cryptography, and that's fun. But that's
So you work on crypto full time?
I don't work on crypto full time because it's really hard to get this title story into government. And so most of my time, and actually I think this is pretty common, even though you work in crypto, most of your time is spent in traditional engineering.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of why I'm here, is I'm a web dev who is into crypto also.
Yeah. So we're trying to apply it everywhere we can. We have a really exciting project right now in Baltimore that may spread out. So I would say that I do crypto as much as possible, but my day job, it's trying to engineer around it and with it so that people can actually use it.
Yeah, and we've spoken pretty extensively about some of the opportunities that you're one of the unique guests on the show, in that you have a real use case in your actual job that could actually leverage Dash platform, depending on how things work out in the real world. And so I'm excited to introduce you to Dash platform. You don't need an introduction to Dash itself because you've been, around for a while. But let's go ahead and get your screen share going, just so that we can jump into that topic. But yeah, thanks for being on. And I also wanted to just mention briefly before we get started that Dash platform is officially going to launch, I believe, June 29th on mainnet.
So it passed?
Yes, we did have a proposal that was talking about whether we should launch it, even though all the features and all the buttons aren't necessarily snapped up. but it's a good enough minimum viable product, and getting it on mainnet is a good idea. So
we should plan a time where the two of us will go through this tutorial, and we'll just change network to mainnet and see what happens.
Yeah. So I don't know if I happened to accidentally say June, but I meant July, and I'm pretty sure it's 29th. And Anthony, you and I we haven't decided this yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow in our Incubator Weekly, because we have a blog post from Dash Core Group that I want to go over and just read the whole thing and discuss it. So that will be our topic for tomorrow. But yeah, very exciting stuff. We're actually going to mainnet. So right now, unfortunately, we're still dealing with the finicky testnet, to some degree finicky, and we're going to hope that it works out for us today. But let's get started, and we'll try to go as quickly as we can through this today. So, Trent, go ahead and take the reins at looking through the post here. You can see the table of contents. Just give us a rough idea or give yourself a rough idea of what we're going to go through. But let's just scroll down and get started on the first step.
Okay, yeah, I have been scrolling and it's not showing on the screen. So let me see if I'm going to, let's see, I've opened up Chrome. Chrome's not showing on my screen either.
Oh no.
How about I leave?
We thought we had fixed this.
Yeah, we did actually go through this pre-show.
Can you get your editor up?
It is up, and I'm showing it right now.
And so, and you'd had the extra monitor, so maybe if you just like disconnect that might help.
It's disconnected now, so why don't I leave and come back in? Is that cool?
Sure?
Sure. Yeah, so we get to vamp for a while, I guess.
Yep, totally. Yeah, no, that's super interesting. The land title stuff. I remember this is the thing that came up in there was like a smart contract on Ethereum that had like the first home deed. That was like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. So very interesting use case.
Yeah. Yeah, and the biggest challenge with that is obviously getting governments to recognize it. So let's hope that Trent's able to make some inroads there. So we see you back now, Trent, and we see the screen. It's currently showing the three of us.
It's not scrolling, is it?
Nope.
Yep, I'm switching my windows and I'm scrolling through the blog post, and you're not able to see it. So I could continue and talk through, but
well, Anthony, you could keep going, and Anthony could do a screen share and just show what steps that we're on, I suppose. I don't know if that's maybe not a great idea. Not the best presentation.
Why don't I try joining this in Chrome? I'm in Firefox right now.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Try.
Actually hang out here. Let's see if I can.
We could try when you do join with Chrome, like instead of sharing your whole screen, try just sharing a tab. Let's just play around and try a couple different setups, see what happens.
Okay.
There's 3 options. There's whole screen, window, and tab. And I would say try a window first instead of your whole screen.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is a weird one. This has never happened before.
All right, present, share screen, and Chrome. Okay, so this is interesting. On my Mac, I was, it looked like the settings did not have permissions to share screen either on Chrome or Firefox, even though it did show the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see my? Oh wait,
We're not seeing anything right now. Your screen's not
Right.
sharing at all on our end.
Yeah. Window.
So are you able to update those permissions?
I was.
Oh, here we go.
And do you see me?
Hey, we're
scrolling?
good. Oh man, thank God.
Yes. So that was the deal. I'm used to it not allowing a share for, a screen share, but usually it tells you. This time, like, it shared my whole screen, but then would never move, and I didn't know why.
That
and
is weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Weird little ghost in the machine. But StreamYard has never let me down before, so I figured we would eventually figure it out. And
Sweet.
thankfully we're totally good. So yeah, the code starts just past this, the setup and configure node project. So actually, just real quick before we start, obviously it sounds like you're a very experienced dev. You got a freaking PhD in this stuff. What is your JavaScript experience though?
I prefer JavaScript.
Oh, great. Awesome. Can you just check your node version real quick?
Yeah, and I can get whatever version we need. Let's see. Let's just. Have you ever used Package X?
No, I use Volta for my version management.
Oh, I haven't heard of Volta.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
pretty
this
great.
one. It's affiliated with T and the guy who created Homebrew. And so
Oh yeah,
it's
he's
currently,
a crypto guy now.
yeah, it's currently 21.5. So if that works, then-
Well, not sure why you're on an odd version, but that should be good.
I can switch to whatever version, yeah, we need.
It's
so.
that it needs at least version 20, so you should be fine. I've just never seen anyone run odd versions before.
Oh, okay.
And let's bump up your font also.
Okay. Let's see. How's that?
And then if you could drag the window, the other window, the tutorial window past the our faces, because right now we see both. Yeah, there you go.
Too distracting.
Yeah.
I know, it's just how
Perfect.
handsome you are is just like throwing me for a loop. Okay. So I'll just copy this whole chunk.
Okay, let the timer start now. It's 4:27, so let's see how fast we can do this one. I'm just kidding. We don't have to speed run through it, but I know that you're on a bit of a schedule today, and
Yeah.
there is pretty lengthy tutorial. So
Okay, fair enough. No, I will let you know if I have to go. So it's funny, I'm reading this after I paste it in, which is probably not the best practice. So, all right.
Most of the people as we run this haven't read any of it, so that's okay.
All right. So create each script file individually. Package JSON. So let's go and open this now with hello. Wait. Let's try this. So I'm just going to replace that. All right. Import dash past the projects network. And okay, so we're starting the app here. This is called API/client.js. All right. All right, so starting a Dash client, sweet. Get a new address. All right. Create wallet.js. And
we'll let you get to a point where after you run a command, we'll talk a little bit about what we're doing, but we're almost there anyway. So
Yep. Sweet.
create wallet stuff is all pretty straightforward. This is just this stuff is creating a 12-word seed phrase and whatnot.
Yep. Right on.
Just a heads up that the faucet is a little finicky, but hopefully we can get that going.
Okay. All right. I'm putting these in my environment. Oh, so I'm copying this whole thing, right? In env. Okay. Add ones to faucet. So now I'm going to go to.
Yeah, Ryan, the faucet broke for me in a new way this time, so I'm having issues getting funds. So we'll see what happens with Trent.
Okay.
Okay, they didn't give you the captcha. I had to click through the bicycles. That's the wrong field.
Oh, yeah. The dash address goes up top.
Is it master node or master nodes for the promo code?
It's just masternode, but we don't necessarily need a promo code because we honestly don't need that many coins anyway. Let's see. Invalid dash.
Yeah, just no. That's fine. That showed up the first time we did. It's running up top.
Looks
so
like
just let that do its thing.
Yeah.
If the website crashes, that means it worked.
Sweet.
So you can open up a new tab and start checking out the.
Okay, I think you got the funds.
I wonder if I clicked on something. So if I search for that address now.
Yep.
Hello.
You might need to refresh that one as well. Sometimes it needs a refresh even after you go there. Let's see. So that's
It's also it might be telling you it's insecure, so your browser might be blocking it. If you just click over to the left.
Oh, does it?
It's not HTTPS. It's just HTTP. That's
oh, I see.
Yeah.
There you go.
So how can I force it to let me?
Good question. We've never been this much on the.
This is probably Firefox thing. Yeah, try it in Chrome.
You were looking at you're doing the faucet still, but let's check the insight. The second tab in.
Copy link. Better.
There you go.
Okay. I've seen this view before. All right. Yeah, because this is the same kind of explorer we have watching the flow, which is another blockchain client. So we wanted to search for my address. All right.
Oh, good.
Excellent. All right. Explorer's doing well today.
Sweet.
Great. So the next one is the moment of truth. This is where we really find out whether the network's working or not.
All right. API client.js. So modify to include the wallet's mnemonic. All right. I think I got that somewhere. No, I might as well just copy the whole thing. All right.
Yeah.
env. Okay. Create identity. Easy enough. And okay. So, oh, because my mnemonic is in the env file. Okay, fair enough. Output. Oh dear.
Okay, here we go. Let's.
That's a new one. You want to hit up Mikhail and ask him which IP address we should be using, or we can try the one we used last time.
Let's try the one that we used last time for now. I'm going to also open up the Grafana. See if, oh man, I got to find the link to that because I'm on a different computer now. Gonna have to look in our conversation because it's not public. The Grafana dashboard. Do you have the IP address, Anthony, from last time?
I'm literally going through the YouTube video right now to find it.
Oh, I think I found it actually.
Okay, cool.
I'll paste it in our Discord chat. And let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. Yeah. So if you click on that, it says method not allowed, which means that the actual server is up. So that's actually good.
Okay, so now we just also have to find the docs page that shows how to get it in.
Right.
Let's go to docs.dash.org. And then go to open your hamburger menu. Other one, top left.
Yeah.
Yep. And then go to scroll down, or go to platform docs actually. Yep. And then hamburger menu again.
This one?
Yep. And then under tutorials, connect to a network. And then scroll down to connect via address. And then we're going to get that part, the DAPI address, into our client. You can just put it along with the rest of the info you have in your client. So it'll be just the DAPI address part. Don't grab the whole thing.
Just this?
Even less. Just that exactly. Yeah.
Oh, because there's a dash.client right there. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then we just have to include the IP that Ryan gave us in the Discord.
I'm guessing no slashes or HTTPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, write it just like they got in the docs and then delete the other one and then rerun that command.
Here we go. Yeah, I wish I had this kind of help on all my project setups.
We're pros at this by now. Like I said, this is part 6, so imagine how part 1 through 4 went.
So that what happened here, and we'll know if what I'm saying is useful at all in a minute here when this runs through. But the previous node, it could have been that the DAPI client, DAPI, decentralized API or Dash API, looks like it worked. This is good. It connects with a random node. Evo node is what we call them. That's running platform services. It finds the list of them. Connects with a random one, and sometimes that random one is not healthy. And so the SDK is not very up to snuff. So it needs some work, the SDK, but the network itself should be pretty reliable. So because it's pretty reliable using the Rust SDK and other tools that DCG is more actively building. But the JavaScript SDK, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I would say I think it's been 4 out of the 6 we've hit this issue, and 2 out of the 4 worked first time. So
Right. Okay.
not a great record.
Right. Okay.
So anyway, updating the JavaScript SDK is something that we could tackle if we wanted to. So just throw that out there in case somebody or you, Trent, are interested in doing some JavaScript SDK work. But that probably needs to be given some love. But anyway, let's move forth with the tutorial. So you got the command that we just ran was create identity, and essentially what create identity is doing is creating a public-private key pair that is the basis for your interactions on Dash platform. And
how is that different from just my basic wallet that has my key pair in it.
Good question.
Yeah, and unfortunately I don't know the details of this, so
Okay.
nor do we really need to know any of it for now. But it's something that I want to look into because
It's kind of like
very
it allows you to create a namespace on platform instead of the layer. I don't know if layer 2 is the right term, probably not, but that's kind of how I think about it. Platforms like this extra layer that runs on top that includes additional functionality, including like your own namespace. So we're eventually going to create your like a Trent.dash kind of account,
Right
Those
on.
are two separate things, though. So the identity, just to be clear, is a long string, of random characters, and it's, from what I understand, it is that public-private key pair. I don't know exactly what curve it's using. I don't think it's standard elliptic curve stuff. Public-private key pairs, ECDSA kind of stuff. I think it's different, but regardless, that is the basis. And then on top of that identity, you can create contracts. You can submit documents to other contracts that have been created. And the Dash Pay contract is one of the flagship contracts that allows people to register a username on top of their identity. So the identity, you can have multiple identities, and then each identity can have multiple usernames, and each username would have then a series of public-private key pairs used for actual funds.
So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Is it the case that my original wallet seed, as long as I back that up, and then if I reinstall it on another computer, I'll restore not only my address, but also I can get these identities from that. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Everything is derived from the seed phrase, the 12-word seed phrase, and the whole idea with this naming thing is that you can have one username that's across different different devices, your different devices, and as long as you know that you have the username Trent, then you know that, and you can access that, then that's all you need for all of your platform interactions and payments. Okay, so let's keep going. The next step is
Retrieve identities.
This mostly just a sanity check to see that you can retrieve that identity that you just created.
Right. Okay, and here we go. In some ways, I'm glad this is being recorded because, if you've inserted any malicious code anywhere, then, I have proof that it was you walking me through it, and I want a copy of this recording.
Yeah, luckily there's been no changes to this code. You've had 5 other people run through it, and their computers have not been owned, unless I'm really playing the long game here.
Right. Expect nothing less. Okay. So retrieved identities. It got this one, which looks the same as before. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 1 dash is equal to 100 million duffs.
That's actually a typo. I think that we need to fix that. No, that's true. One dash equals 100 million duffs, and
yeah, I wrote this with you telling me what to write, so that should be correct.
I thought we might have had a typo there, but I was reading wrong.
Yeah.
Good.
One time
I will never remember that conversion offhand. So
just think 100 cents. $1 is 100 cents, but instead of 100, it's 100 million. So
obviously,
yeah.
This is that one time Ryan thought that he was wrong, but he actually wasn't. So okay. NPM run identities. So hopefully we're
that's funny. This dude knows you well, apparently.
I've been wrong plenty of times. And again, this this waiting is mostly the SDK's issue. I don't think things are this slow on the actual network, on the network side. It has to do with settings. There's a configuration that you can add, I believe, that will speed that up. But
yeah, maybe
good here.
we can update the client to sync even less blocks than it currently is at right now. That might help.
Well, it has to do with the storage adapter warning that you keep seeing running a Node.js without any specified adapter. We're not storing any data locally, and so it has to continually sync from what. That's one thing that I've heard, but I haven't verified that. But I think that's what the purpose of that storage adapter is so that you can you don't have to rescan all the blocks from the one that we said was our beginning block in the configuration file.
Okay. Yeah, now that we've done this tutorial with a bunch of people, it seems like the things that if we could upstream some stuff to the actual SDK, it would be better retries for the correct nodes so we don't hit those errors, and then the sync issue or the general speed issue. So
yeah, it's just very, I mean, it's pretty old code because this project has been going on for a while, and DCG has decided to make Rust the primary SDK. So that's been their focus, and Incubator can take on updating and improving the JavaScript SDK if we want down the road. But right now, it's good enough to get the core concepts. Like using this SDK is good enough to get the core concepts for now. So it's probably okay. Let's see if spaces are allowed.
Should I, be brave or not?
Sure.
Wait, you put no spaces will definitely not be allowed.
I know, but I was just trying to. Yeah, let's skip the error.
I can tell you right now, spaces are not going to be allowed.
All right, here we go to register a name. Identifier express buffer. But it looks like it's still working on something.
That's weird. Can you go to your .env again real quick for me?
Do you know if the hyphen, the dash is allowed in the
dash should be allowed.
Okay.
But we could try without the dash to see.
Just say Trent, man. Like you're the man. You're the Trent of Dash, right?
There's only one Trent in this world.
All right, so we should kill this then.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. All right, I will be the Trent on testnet.
Oh, it ran the same thing.
Okay.
Let's just let it finish, or at least let it run long enough so that we can see whether it's going to finish or not. Give it like 20 or 30 seconds.
Okay. Did run register name, right? Yep. Okay.
Go to your register name file real quick. Just make sure we didn't like mess something up in the copy paste. So we're added in. It looks like your thing is adding in some types. Are those actually being written into the code or
no?
Okay.
This is just a hint. Just
Right,
like this, it's not in the code. It's not a line on it.
Okay, so that shouldn't be an issue then. And label's good. Label's good. And you don't have any spaces in your .env. Interesting. All right. Well, let's see what happens. The next thing we can try is just hard coding your label right into the register name.
All right, you tell me when.
You do have a label in your process, and don't you? Yes, you do.
So and you saved that. That's not just hanging.
Right. It does save automatically.
Okay.
And it does have a marker on it over here when it's not.
Okay. Good question. Everything should be good. Unless Trent was already taken, maybe.
The error came so fast that it makes me think that it was something in the SDK once again, and it
Yeah,
wasn't.
that's what I'm thinking too. We could try bumping it back to 12, I guess.
Oh, what version are we running right now? Good question.
We're running the most recent, which should be 15. But this hasn't been. We've run this version with other people, and it hasn't been an issue.
But let's try the 12 if this doesn't work, because that has given us better luck than 15.
Are you talking this version?
Oh, it is 12. Okay.
Oh, because I fixed that in the instructions. That's right. That's why I wanted to give him the Netlify version, because I fixed that in the instructions. So yeah, so we're on the correct version according to Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, this has been hanging for a while, so I guess we try and just hard code it.
Well, I don't think that's going to fix anything, honestly. But Trent, can you bring up the link? So go to the StreamYard, and there's a link for metrics.testnet. It's a Grafana link at the very end. Yeah, in the public chat, wherever that is. You don't. Yeah, comments. There you go.
Dash Incubator, Grafana, this guy.
Yeah, bring that up, and let's see. Let's do a sanity check on the network itself.
He's gonna have to log in though, right?
Yes, but the username is Dash, and the password is platform.
Blowing the secrets, Ryan.
Yeah,
Now everyone can know when our network is down.
this is not responding for some reason. Well, I've got networking.
And I do know that they. Let's see. Yeah, that's not loading for some reason. Let me try it.
This is the new one. Never got stuck on this step before.
They might be. I know that they're getting ready to upgrade the network, and we may have run into the exact time that they're doing that, because I'm not getting it to load for me either. So it's not on your end for sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yep, definitely not working. Let me check the. Is there another step? What step did we get hung up on here?
Register name. We got the identity. We topped up the identity, and then we're trying to create the label, which would be the Trent.dash. That's the register name function.
Okay. And this, so we may not get too much further with this, but that's okay. We can always pick up from where we're at now on a later stream and do it again. Because I am noticing that they meaning Dash Core Group, they are changing testnet right now to run
right meow.
Well,
the worst time to live stream.
As of 2:00, that's what 2:00. So 2 hours ago, or 3 hours now ago, it was the last message that I saw about this. So it might be likely that something along those lines is happening.
It's spinning.
I'm just gonna send a message real quick to see if anybody's around. See if how is testnet right now? Should it be running? Grafana seems down. Yeah, so in theory, testnet originally, early on in the days of Dash, it seems like testnet was more of a pretty stable place, like pretty stable network. But as we're approaching the Dash platform release, it seems like there's a lot more testing going on in testnet. So I guess the name it's living up to its name as a testing grounds.
Yeah.
Less stable than I'd like, but
So on this step, if it were to work, should this label correspond to my name in my case?
Yes.
Trent?
Yeah.
And then this view on Block Explorer, would this document be Trent?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's just check out Anthony's and see if we're able to get that link to show us. So it looks like the Platform Explorer is working fine. So that's one thing. But error loading data.
It's not going to be just Trent. Like you saw, my document link doesn't look like that.
Okay.
So it's going to be your some sort of identifier.
So this is yours, AJC Web Dev.
Yeah, and the URL corresponds to the identifier for the document, not the identity.
Gotcha.
So it's using I think there's a contract that is used to create the name, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay. And where did you get that identifier? I don't see this in.
So that's what's going to be output. So if you go up to the scroll up into the code, it'll give you your label and then view on Block Explorer. So scroll to the right a little bit.
Yep.
So it does the name registration dot and then $ID. So that has to do with this is all JSON schema stuff. Yep. So basically when you register the name, you get like a JSON blob back with all this information, and that's what allows you to find it on the Platform Explorer.
Yeah. So in the document here in the blog, you might put this inside here because that is part of the output.
That's right. Yeah, correct. Yeah, but then you can't click it as a link in a blog. So trade-offs.
Good point.
Yeah, this has been hanging for like 5 minutes now, so this is clearly not going to work.
Let's go back to the tutorial and just kind of do a conceptual overview of what it's doing here, because Anthony gives all the outputs that we would see anyway. So just kind of scroll through here and then see the idea.
Yeah, this is the JSON blob I'm talking about with the ID and all that. Yeah,
has your name, the ID. Yep. Okay.
So the next step would be like creating a data contract, and then doing basically like CRUD on a data contract, create, read, update, delete. And then after a data contract is created, when you can think of it as making a schema that all other documents would adhere to, just like a database schema using an SDK. Or rather,
do you hear anything in my background, by the way?
Yeah, we hear some.
Hear a little bit of opera, yeah. No, that's fine.
So,
which is awesome.
As much as you appreciate the entertainment,
my niece is over here. That's why I keep waving to.
Make it easier to hear me. Okay. So the schema is defined, in the in the contract. That's kind of cool. And we can retrieve the contract. Okay. And you can update the contract. Okay. Existing set document schema node. So that's updating the contract. So is this submit note document going to be utilizing that same contract?
Yes. So this will be a document against that schema or contract.
Yep.
When we say contract,
And now I changed it so now it gives you your own name instead of AJC Web Dev. That was one of the other changes in this
Oh,
version.
good. It's too bad we can't actually test that, but good to know that that's updated.
Okay, then you'll actually execute that contract, I assume, and here we go, output. Okay.
Yep.
Delete documents, update no document. So this is
were you able to get in touch with anyone, Ryan, in terms of like actually confirming that the issue is
tested? Nobody's responded on that, so we'll just continue with the conceptual overview, and then I'd like to ask Trent if he has any specific questions about like what.
This is the good thing about having an experienced dev is he can just be like read through the code.
You know, you could even look through the code of the SDK to see kind of what it's doing if you wanted to, but we only have about 10 minutes left for the time frame that I was shooting for anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah, then this last part, you hook up an Express server to then expose an endpoint that gives you back your name, and then you create a React front end that then reads from your Express server to display it in like a little front end.
Yeah, nice. Okay, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, and actually, I'll ask you to open up a new tab and go to grovedb.org, I believe.
You mentioned this before. If you don't mind, pause this for just a second.
Yep.
I wanted to go back on here and make a note that,
Sure.
This is a particularly apropos example for me because it shows, I can not only, it's pretty easy to create my own schema on chain and add arbitrary data. And
that's right.
As Ryan, we've talked about, for MLG, our
Medici land governance.
Land governance. Yeah, we you'll see a lot of land blockchain companies talking about tokens, and we may go there at some point. But right now, all we're doing is copying what the registrar in the government, the county government has accepted, and putting that on chain. So that it's basically a copy. It's not the source of truth. We want to get there someday, but that's useful because that's a public record. And
that's right. Yeah.
This particular example you've got shows how we could do exactly that with some data that we're going to put on soon for Baltimore.
That's cool, man. We should get you back sometime and try and do like a proof of concept of that. That would be really interesting, actually.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. Yeah, and we don't have to continue the tutorial. We can actually just try to make a very bare bones version of what you would want as your land governance.
That's what we could try skipping the name registration step entirely and see if we can just write documents.
Yeah, we could try that. Yeah.
They're both useful in that blog. I would have been.
It's up to you guys.
The identity stuff is interesting to me as well, just on other projects.
Yep. So this is the database that it's built on, and if you go to the comparison table, it shows you some of the features that you get with this database, which in theory can be used outside of a blockchain context. But we use this GroveDB, which Dash Core Group built special purpose for Dash platform. But you get like it shows, you get the proof system, and you can do secondary indexes on nested data, for example, straight from the blockchain, and identify that you want certain fields indexed so that they're more performant and whatnot. So you don't necessarily need a lot of performance for your application, it seems like, because it would be like a one-time lookup thing, but you have that at your disposal if you want that kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. So when you say inclusion proofs, non-inclusion proofs, query proofs, I mean, what does that mean?
So when you're contacting a node on the network, in theory, somebody could, if they had 4,000, it requires 4,000 Dash to run an Evo node, right? You need
Which is getting
4,000
cheaper
Dash.
and cheaper every day.
So like, master nodes, they
Yeah.
require 1,000 Dash.
Yes.
Evo nodes, which is running Dash platform, requires 4,000 Dash. And then you can be part
Which
of
today is like 100K.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's say an attacker wanted to, mess around, and he's got the 4,000 Dash. He spins up a node because this is a permissionless system. He spins up a node. Now he's one of the Evo nodes, and the clients that are connecting to him want to query some data, right? Like they want to query Trent's Medici land governance contract to see what's registered. Well, in theory, he could just send back bogus data because we're just contacting him through HTTP and but there's no, how computers work, and you can run any service that you want on any port, and you could just fake some data if you wanted to. But these proofs tell you that, okay, if you wanted to try to fake data, like you wanted to say, no, this land title actually isn't in the registry, you wouldn't be able to do that, because not only does the data have to come from. So what I'm trying to say is you have to spoof the whole network, because the proof says that the network has said that this data existed, say like a week ago, and the network say that when you uploaded that data, you got the proof that it was uploaded and everything, and the network came to consensus around that state. And then later, if you're querying that state, you could have that rogue actor that could send you bad data in the absence of proofs, and they could get away with it. I mean, it's very unlikely that somebody would do that, because the SDK is contacting a random one, and what are the odds and all that sort of stuff. But if you don't have the proof, then you're just contacting somebody you're asking for data from an individual operator on a network, and that's not good enough.
Right.
So yeah, this database has that consensus, that network consensus built in with the proof system as well. So I don't know if you've heard too much about this concept of data availability, but that seems to be, this is a buzzword around the crypto and blockchain scene, is data availability. So it seems like a lot of networks are moving from this model of all of the nodes are running execution, and they're moving away from that, like Ethereum, and they're moving toward a world where it's now more about data availability on a blockchain, and not necessarily the execution or the what's the other word that I'm looking for? It's not compute, it's storage. And so networks are, so if you wanted to Google that term, like, this is basically, we were trying to do that before it was cool.
And a lot of people, I was talking about layer 1 versus layer 2. This is what a lot of the Ethereum layer 2 stuff is about.
Yeah, but even Ethereum layer 1 is I think moving into this network, this data availability paradigm, where the layer 2s are contacting that layer 1 and just saying, I don't know, it's a little beyond my understanding, but I do know that this idea of just having data available from the chain for other clients to contact and get, whether that's like a solo client or an L2 client, that is where the industry seems to be moving. And I think, without looking into the term and exactly like the nuances of what that means, this data availability thing, I'm pretty sure that this is exactly what Dash platform has already been working on, and is basically has released, and will soon be on mainnet. But isn't it just easier to say, I want some data on a blockchain, and I want to be able to give it a schema and be able to query that like a database. but you haven't historically, like there's not many chains that have given you that option.
This is one of the problems that the company I worked for, QuickNode, was meant to solve. They would have, you could buy like a regular node or a full, or they had terms, I forget what the terms were, but you could buy a node that would give you like the last, however many months of data. You could buy one that would give you all of the data, and they would basically index it for you, which is one of the things we were looking at with Mikhail. And it's just like, this is just a hard problem to solve with blockchain, is kind of what I gathered from working at that company.
Yeah, because those companies spring up because people don't want to run their own nodes and trust their own. They don't want to do all that work to get blockchain data. They want to just outsource that to a company, and they trust the company, and that's fine for a lot of people. But if you can provide data with proofs and SDKs that can just talk straight with the blockchain instead of talking with a company that has indexed the data, let's just bake that right into the blockchain itself and provide that as a service, so that the nodes running the blockchain, you can contact them, and it's as easy of a developer experience as working with one of these indexing companies. Now, we don't know. I think we're still going to need a lot of work. It's still a lot of work to get to that point where the UX, the DX is just as good as working with, a company that's specializing in this. But the idea is that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to give users the ability to directly connect with and contact and communicate with the nodes on a blockchain network from clients, instead of having that middleman of corporations doing that work.
Nice. Okay.
So anyway, I think let's wrap it up there. I think that was a good introduction, and maybe if we do have you on another time, we'll try to jump in and do a little bit more playing, and maybe that will be a month from now, or a little bit more than a month from now, when it's on mainnet. So
wow. Yeah.
And I think we have a lot of work to do with the SDK, because I am getting a little tired of these issues.
Well, this has been good because we've narrowed in on what the main issues are that we can kind of tackle. So I think this has been very, very useful. It was super great to have you on, Trent. We'd definitely love to have you again.
Good. No, it's been great to see the progress here, and looking forward to mainnet. That's awesome.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll talk later. Thanks, Trent, once again. And thanks for everybody for tuning in. And we will see you tomorrow, where we will be talking about the mainnet launch of Dash platform, the roadmap. Again, it's slated for the end of July. So we'll go through the blog post and we'll see what we can pick out of that. And I'll probably have details. I haven't read it yet, but we'll see you then, everybody.
Is it live, or can we see it?
It's live, yeah. We can see it.
Awesome.
We'll go through that tomorrow.
Awesome, man. Good stuff.
Cool.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.